What is up, everybody? JT Dangerous Slayer once again. I am here to do my 2020 Stanley Cup Playoffs first round predictions. Now, with the qualifying and round robin tournaments in the books, we are now into my favorite part of the NHL season and where it really matters the most, the Stanley Cup Playoffs. And the road to the Stanley Cup begins now, and it starts right here in the first round. So I am extremely excited to do my predictions for this year's Stanley Cup Playoffs for you guys this year. You guys already know the deal. I'll be making picks from the first round all the way up to the Stanley Cup Finals. So sit back, relax, grab something to drink and eat, and grab your favorite hockey jersey, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, my record last year in the Stanley Cup Playoffs was horrible. I got my ass handed to me. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. We went 4-11, and our overall Stanley Cup playoff record on the channel is 17-14. So we're coming off our worst predictions ever on the channel since I've been doing YouTube for 4 years, and I'm looking towards this year to be my redemption year. So hopefully in this video we will get back on the winning track. We are currently on a 1-year losing streak. Hopefully in this video we will end that losing streak. Hopefully. And hopefully you guys will be able to watch this video and all the videos that I put up on the channel. This is the summer of Dangerously, and hopefully you guys will be able to watch all these videos. Always show your support on the channel as always, guys, by watching these videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, and commenting your picks, your opinions, and representing your NHL teams in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel today, guys, as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, pick the good one if you're a huge fan of the NHL like myself, and you're ready for this year's first round of the 2020 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I'm JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is two. Whoop, whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these first round predictions. Starting off in the Eastern Conference with the #1 seed in the East, the Philadelphia Flyers, facing off against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, starting off with the Flyers first, they are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2017, and they are this year's #1 seed after winning the round robin tournament over Boston, Tampa, and Washington. So, if anyone deserved to be the #1 seed after beating those three teams, it was the Flyers. And this Flyer squad is looking to make a deep run and a deep push to the Stanley Cup Finals. When you got some great players on this squad like Sean Couturier, Jakub Voracek, Claude Giroux, James Van Riemsdyk, Matt Niskanen, and their dual threat at goaltending with Carter Hart and Brian Elliott. They're excited to have the Montreal Canadiens coming off their upset victory over the Pittsburgh Penguins in the qualifier, and they are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2016, and the Canadiens are looking to pull off another big upset in this Stanley Cup playoff. And they're also looking to bring home their first Stanley Cup title in nearly 27 years. Since 1993, the Canadiens franchise has been waiting for a Stanley Cup to come to Montreal. Now, you got some great players on this Canadian squad as well, with Shea Weber, Tomas Tatar, Brendan Gallagher, and Max Domi, and their fantastic goaltender, Price. So coming from me in this first round matchup in this year's Stanley Cup Playoffs, I can see the series going 6, possibly 5, maybe in a 4-game sweep. But coming from me, I am going to go with Jakub Voracek, Claude Giroux, and the Philadelphia Flyers to defeat the Montreal Canadiens. And now the next first round matchup, and it is a rematch of last year's first round showdown between the Tampa Bay Lightning facing off against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, we all saw what happened last year in the playoffs when the President's Trophy winner Tampa Bay Lightning got swept by the wild card Columbus Blue Jackets in the biggest upset in Stanley Cup playoff history. And now this is the much anticipated rematch. Now, starting off with the Tampa Bay Lightning first, nobody's going to forget that moment for Tampa Bay for having the most wins in the regular season, getting the President's Cup trophy, and then laying an egg and getting swept by the Blue Jackets and getting swept by their former head coach and the man who got Tampa their first Stanley Cup title, John Tortorella. So this Lightning squad is going to be coming in pissed, and they're looking to get some revenge. Now, you got a great Lightning squad here, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference with Braden Point, Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, Victor Hedman, Ryan McDonough, and their fantastic goaltender, Andrei Vasilevskiy. They're excited to have the Columbus Blue Jackets coming off their big Game 5 victory tonight over the Toronto Maple Leafs. And once again, Toronto cannot seal the deal when it matters the most. And the Blue Jackets are back in the playoffs for the second consecutive year after losing to the Boston Bruins in 6 games last year. And now they're looking to make it 2 for 2 against the Tampa Bay Lightning and get John Tortorella another victory over his former team. Now, you got some great players on this Blue Jackets squad. I mean, they were the team that knocked Tampa Bay right out of the playoffs in 4 games. You got players like Pierre-Luc Dubois, Seth Jones, Nick Foligno, Gustav Nyquist, Zach Werdlinski, and their goaltender Elvis Merlinkas. So this Blue Jacket squad can definitely do it again, but it's going to be really tough this year. So coming from me in this rematch of last year's first round showdown, there's no way Tampa's going to blow this again. I just can't see them getting knocked out of the first round for the second consecutive year. And I don't think it's going to end in a sweep either. Maybe a sweep for Tampa, but not a sweep for Columbus. I can see the series going maybe 6. But coming from me, I trusted Tampa last year. They let me down. So coming from me, I'm going to trust Tampa this time. But if they don't get past Columbus, do not expect me to pick Tampa in the first round ever again if they make the playoffs next year. So, Tampa Bay, you have been warned. So, coming from me, I am going to go with Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov, and the Tampa Bay Lightning to get it done this year and defeat the Columbus Blue Jackets. And now the next first round matchup, pitting the Washington Capitals facing off against the New York Islanders. Now the Washington Capitals are back in the playoffs after falling short in the first round in 7 games to the Carolina Hurricanes. And the Capitals are looking to rebound and bounce back this year in the playoffs and make a deep run back to the Cup. Now you got some great players on this Capitals squad. They were one of the top 4 teams in the Eastern Conference this year with Evgeny Kuznetsov, Nicholas Backstrom, Alexander Ovechkin, John Carlson, TJ Oshie, Ilya Kovalchuk, and their fantastic goaltender and Vezina Trophy winner, Braden Holtby. There is the idea of the New York Islanders coming off their big victory over the Florida Panthers in the qualifying round, and they're coming off their loss to the Carolina Hurricanes in the second round last year of the playoffs, but they also started the first round with a 4-game sweep of the Penguins as well. So the Islanders are looking to pull off another first round upset. Now, you got some great players on this Islander squad like Matthew Barzal, Brock Nelson, Jordan Eberle, Anders Lee, Johnny Boychuk, and their fantastic goaltending duo of Simon Varlamov and Thomas Greiss. So coming from me in this first round showdown, this series is going to go 6, maybe 5, but coming from me, I'm going to go with Alexander Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals to get it done and defeat the New York Islanders. And now the final first round matchup in the Eastern Conference, and it is a rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals between the reigning Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Bruins, facing off against the Carolina Hurricanes. Now, this matchup last year was fantastic in the Eastern Conference Finals, with Boston defeating Carolina and advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals before losing to St. Louis. So this is the much anticipated rematch. Now, starting off with the Bruins, they are coming off their loss to the St. Louis Blues in the Cup Final last year, and this Bruins squad is coming in as the 4 seed after having the most points in the regular season, but not getting one victory in the round-robin tournament between Philly, Washington, and Tampa. So the reigning Eastern Conference champs are going to have to scratch and claw to get back to the Cup Final. Now, this Bruins team hasn't changed since we saw them last year. You got players like Patrice Bergeron, David Krejci, Brad Marchand, Zdeno Chara, Torrey Krug, and their fantastic goaltending duo of Tuukka Rask and Yaroslav Halak. There is the idea of the Carolina Hurricanes coming off their sweep of the New York Rangers in the qualifiers, and they are back in the playoffs for the second consecutive year after that last year's miraculous run to the Eastern Conference Finals and falling short to Boston. This is Carolina's chance to get some revenge and maybe make a deep run in this year's playoffs. Now, Carolina has some great players. You got Sebastian Aho, Jordan Staal, Nito Niederreiter, Sami Vatanen, Jacob Slavin, and their fantastic goaltender, Peter Mierznick. So, coming from me in this final first-round matchup in the Eastern Conference in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs, I have a feeling this one's going to go 7 or 6. In my opinion. But coming from me, I am going to go with the reigning Eastern Conference champions, the Boston Bruins, to defeat the Carolina Hurricanes. Now on to the Western Conference with the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, the Vegas Golden Knights, facing off against the Chicago Blackhawks. Now starting off with the Golden Knights first, they are back in the playoffs after blowing a 3-1 lead in the first round to my San Jose Sharks, and the Golden Knights are back to make sure that what happened last year doesn't happen again, and they're looking to make another deep run back to the playoffs. Now, this Vegas Golden Knights team has been very good ever since coming to the NHL. They made it to their first Cup final in their first year in the league, and now they're coming off their first year that they had a lead, but they blew it. So this is their chance in their 3rd year to make a deep run. Now, you got some great players on this Golden Knights squad. I mean, you got William Karlsson, you got Paul Stastny, you got Max Pacioretty, Jonathan Marchand, Mark Stone, Riley Smith, and their dual threats at goaltending with Robert Lehrer and Marc-Andre Fleury. But this Golden Knights team is looking to make a deep run this year. There is the idea of the Chicago Blackhawks coming off their big upset victory over the Edmonton Oilers in the qualifiers, and the Blackhawks are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2016, and this Blackhawks squad is looking to show that they are still a threat in the Western Conference, even though even though if this pandemic never happened, they would have missed the playoffs, but they found a way to get in with 32 wins, and they found a way to beat Edmonton, which a lot of people did not see Edmonton losing that series, but Chicago got it done with players like Patrick Kane, Jonathan Toews, Brandon Shadd, Duncan Keith, and their fantastic goaltender Corey Crawford. So coming from me in this first round matchup in the Western Conference, this one's tough. I can see this series going maybe 5, even a 4-game sweep. But coming from me, I'm going to go with Jonathan Marchand and the Vegas Golden Knights to get it done this year and defeat the Chicago Blackhawks. And now the next first round showdown between the Colorado Avalanche facing off against the Arizona Coyotes. Now the Avalanche are coming off their loss in the second round of the playoffs last year to my San Jose Sharks. But the Avalanche are back once again this year, and they're looking to make a deep run. Now you got some great players on this Avalanche squad. They were one of the top 4 teams in the Western Conference this year with Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Gabriel Landeskog, Ian Cole, Eric Johnson, and their fantastic goaltender Philip Grubauer. They're excited of the Arizona Coyotes making their coming off their huge upset of the Nashville Predators in the qualifier, and the Coyotes are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2011 when they were the Phoenix Coyotes. This franchise has gone from being the Phoenix Coyotes to either from going to the Arizona Devil Dogs, then nearly losing their team, and then renaming their team to the Arizona Coyotes. So this franchise has been going up and down for years. And you got some great players on this squad like Taylor Hall, one of the #1 draft picks for the Devils a long time ago. Carol Soderberg, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Phil Kessel, Connor Garland, and their fantastic goaltender Darcy Kruger. So, coming from me in this first round showdown in the Western Conference, ooh, man, I wouldn't be mad if Arizona pulls off this upset. I mean, with Phoenix hot in the NBA bubble right now, I wouldn't mind a team from Arizona to make it a deep run into the playoffs. But coming from me, I am going to go with Nathan MacKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche to defeat the Arizona Coyotes in possibly 6 games. And now the next first round matchup, pitting the Dallas Stars facing off against the Calgary Flames. Now the Dallas Stars are coming off their loss to the Blues last year in 7 games, and they are back to make a deep run in this year's Stanley Cup playoffs. Now you got some great players on this Dallas Stars team, like Corey Perry, like John Kilberg, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, and a former Shark, the Big Pavelski, and their fantastic goaltender Ben Bishop. They're excited of the Calgary Flames coming off their victory over the Winnipeg Jets in the qualifier, and they are back in the playoffs after losing in the first round to Colorado last year, and the Flames are looking to make a deep run this year. Now, you got some great players on this Flames team as well, like Sean Monahan, Johnny Gaudreau, Matthew Tkachuk, Matt Giordano, Milan Lucic, Elias Lindholm, and their fantastic goaltending duo of David Richard and Cam Talbot. So, coming from me in this first round showdown, man, this one's tough. It's just so weird seeing Joe Pavelski play for another team other than San Jose, but I'm really hoping he has a deep run into the playoffs. I know he was with us for so long. He never got that opportunity to win the Cup, and if Dallas finds a way to win the Cup, I wouldn't be mad just for Joe Pavelski. So coming from me, I am going to go with Joe Pavelski, the Big Pavelski, and the Dallas Stars to get it done and defeat the Calgary Flames in 6, possibly 7 games. And now the final first round matchup in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs, featuring on one side, they are the reigning Western Conference champions and the reigning and defending Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues, facing off against the Vancouver Canucks. Now, the reigning Stanley Cup champions, St. Louis Blues, are coming off their amazing year last year, winning the Stanley Cup over the Boston Bruins and bringing a Stanley Cup championship to the city of St. Louis. And for a hockey fan, I was very happy and for the Blues, and they definitely deserved it. Now we're going to see if they can repeat as Western Conference champions, as the 4 seed, and also try to repeat as Stanley Cup champions, and then repeat as Western Conference champions. Now, this Blues team is good. They didn't win the Stanley Cup for nothing. They had players like Braden Shen, Ryan O'Reilly, Alex Pietrangelo, Jaden Schwartz, Vladimir Tarasenko, David Perron, Tyler Bozak, and their fantastic dual threats at goaltending with Jordan Binghamton and Jake Allen. There is the idea of the Vancouver Canucks coming off their victory over the Minnesota Wild in the qualifier, and the Canucks are back in the playoffs for the first time since 2014, and they're looking to make a deep run back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, you got some great players on this Canucks squad, except the Sedin twins are gone, but you got some great players like Bo Horvat, Alexander Elder, Brock Bozier, Tyler Toffoli, Brandon Suter, Tyler Miles, and their fantastic goaltender Jacob Markstrom. So, coming from me in this final first-round matchup in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs to see who will advance to the second round. Oh man, this one's going to be a good one. I can see the series going 6, maybe 5. But coming from me, I am going to go with the reigning Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues, to defeat the Vancouver Canucks. And those are my 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs first round predictions. Now, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Comment below. Who do you have winning in the first round of this year's Stanley Cup playoffs? Do you see any big time upsets happening? Let me know who you guys got. And let me know what is your potential Stanley Cup finals as of right now. And as always, represent your NHL teams. Even if they didn't make the playoffs this year and they're fighting for a lottery spot, still, represent them in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course, reply right back to you, because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Now, before you guys go, as always, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you guys can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button, become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I will see you guys next week, hopefully, for my official predictions of the 2020 NBA playoff first round predictions, my NXT TakeOver 30 2020 predictions, and my official SummerSlam 2020 predictions. Later days, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Stay safe and peace. The quest for the cup starts now.